So I went out to eat with my boyfriend for breakfast or lunch. I decided I wanted to try this local place that had just opened and had this one specific menu item I wanted. We went, and it was a 35-minute estimated wait for a table. I said, okay. It took about 30 minutes until we were seated. Not a big deal. Then the waitress came to get our drink orders, and she looked at me surprised and said, "Oh, hey." Like she recognized me. She looked familiar, but I couldn't place it. Ordered myself a drink, and my boyfriend got some water. He had to step outside for a work-related call, so it was just me at the table for some time. At first, the waitress came over and asked if I wanted another drink, and I said yes. She checked on me a few times, then about an hour passed, and still no food. Everyone in the tiny restaurant got their food, except for me. The waitress kept checking on the table directly in front of me, but wouldn't say anything to me or come to my table. Finally, she comes over when we've been here about 2 hours at this point. My boyfriend said, "Let's just get it to go," because I had work, and so did he. I asked her how long it would take. She said she would go check. She went to the back, and then some random man comes over and says, "Sorry, there was some kind of glitch with my order. When they put it in electronically, I guess. And it was there and then it wasn't, and that it was coming up." They gave me 10% off and a free alcoholic beverage worth $10. And by the way, the food wasn't all that when I finally ate it at work. Anyway, I remembered who the waitress was because her name was on the receipt. She was associated with my childhood bullies in elementary school. I just think it's weird that only our order had a glitch and that she didn't check on me for 45 minutes to an hour. Should I say something because I filled out a survey and they might call me to get more info, it said. I get it. It's hard to be a waitress. But checking on everyone but me? Would I be the idiot for mentioning the poor service of this waitress? And no, I didn't say anything or complain in any way, shape, or form about anything that happened while we were there. Edit. When I said I had been there for 2 hours, I included the 30 minutes we waited for the table. I meant the total time. So I had been waiting for food for an hour and 30 minutes, if this matters. Also, my boyfriend ordered before he stepped out. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Info. How long was the boyfriend gone for the call? He had to step outside for a work-related call, so it was just me at the table for some time. At first, the waitress came over and asked if I wanted another drink, and I said yes. She checked on me a few times. Then about an hour passed and still no food. The way this is worded makes it seem like you were at the restaurant for an hour by yourself as your boyfriend was outside making work calls. If this is the case, I can see the waitress holding off on the ticket while your boyfriend was not present. Edit for OP's edit. How long was your boyfriend away from the table? Comment 2. Yes. You would be the idiot. Stop assuming a conspiracy against you. The manager came out and explained. She wasn't rude to you. It was a busy time if you had to wait for a table and your boyfriend was out for however long taking a call. To me, your table could have just as easily slipped her mind because she didn't see the two of you there. And there was a system glitch. And frankly, even if she purposefully delayed your order, how miserable must her life be that this is the only thing she can do to have power over people? Comment 3. Not the idiot, but your time to say something was when you talked to someone in the restaurant. You already got a discount and a free drink. What would your purpose be in calling? Getting her fired over something you can't prove happened? But seriously, who sits in a small restaurant for 2 hours waiting for food without asking where it was? Did you think they were out mowing down wheat and butchering the pigs for sausage and bacon? Now, for the next story. I've been a vegetarian all my life. It's a cultural thing. I'm married to someone who is not from the same culture. I cook food that he likes, which includes meat, exclusively for him. We have some of my relatives who are also vegetarians since birth, visiting us for 10 days. I requested my husband to not have us cook meat in the house while they are visiting, just to ensure the guests are comfortable. He thinks I'm forcing things on him and not seeing the sacrifice I'm making by cooking meat for him every day. Is it too much to ask to adjust for 10 days while I do the adjustment for him all year round? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. I'd say, not the idiot. This is a completely reasonable request. You already accommodate him greatly. And eating meat exclusively is, frankly, a really weird and childish way to structure your diet to avoid vegetarianism. Like, I went vegetarian for a few years because I realized, with the exception of going out to eat or trying special recipes, I was already eating vegetarian dishes 90% of the time, albeit with a ton of cheese and eggs, so not really that hard to make work. More than just the vegetarian/meat thing, it's just generally odd poor hosting to cook things specifically for yourself while you have guests. This applies more to short-term visits than long-term, and a 10-day visit is kind of on the borderline. But constantly making your husband a totally separate meal from guests every day would be very strange, even if it wasn't because he refuses to eat vegetarian dishes for some reason. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Lifelong vegetarians who are vegetarian because of their culture would not be comfortable in a house where there is meat being cooked, because they will see it, and even worse probably, smell it cooking. Assuming only vegetarian dishes will be served at all meals during that time, the OP obviously should not be expected to cook anything with meat for her husband. If he wants to go out and eat a meat sandwich or get a burger and some wings, there are places he can go for that, called restaurants. Or he can pick up at a deli and eat it in his car. It shouldn't be a big deal. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Forcing vegetarianism on him would be demanding that he stop eating meat at all. Simply requesting that he take a short break from having meat cooked at home out of respect for your culture is reasonable and a compromise that he should be able to make out of love and respect for you as his spouse. He can always go grab a burger outside if he really can't go 10 days without it. Now, for the next story. I, 38-year-old male, have been with my husband, 31-year-old male, for 5 years. My husband, Elliot, has always been a child at heart. He's the type of guy who loves video games and such, and that's something in common he has with my nephew, Jake, 16-year-old male. Jake is my brother's son. My brother and I aren't that close. We don't match well, but still, we try to not argue. Recently, my niece had her birthday party, and there was a pool. This pool was really big, around 8 feet in the deepest part. Jake, along with another nephew and 2 nieces, all teenagers, were playing around, but sometimes they tend to play rough. So naturally, their mother was telling them to stop, or someone could get hurt. At one moment, my brother's wife was annoyed, told Jake and the kids to stop it. But minutes later, he decided that it would be fun and a good idea to throw my husband into the pool. Elliot was thrown into the deepest part. He knows how to swim, but was in shock. He wasn't expecting that. Everyone thought it wasn't a big deal until he couldn't make it out of the pool. My other nephew and I got him out of the pool. He was disoriented, but was mostly all right, besides the few bruises he got. I lost it and screamed at Jake, asked him if he was mentally compromised, and told him that he was out of his mind. My brother eventually told me to cut it off, that everything was all right. I told my brother, "Tell your son to get out of my way. I don't want to see him." But that was it. Later at night, my brother's wife came to apologize, but my father and a few members of my family think that we're making a big deal about it. Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Some people are blasting you for the mentally compromised reaction to your nephew, but based on your husband's condition, confused and bruises, I'll give you a pass. The bruises may indicate he hit the side or bottom, and you may want him to be evaluated for a concussion. Sometimes, in a highly emotional state, we blurt out some pretty rough stuff. What your nephew did was idiotic, by the way. That can also be used as a slur and dangerous. You can apologize to your nephew if he also apologizes to your husband. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Not the, a prank is only funny if both parties find it funny. Your brother is slacking on his parenting. Brings me flashbacks of the ongoing saga about the kids who tried to push the op into a pool and they fell into it instead and ruined their dad's phone. Then all hell broke loose, and something about how the op found out his adult siblings were renting his cabin to others for money, and they were massively in debt, relying on their cabin shilling. Like the entire family imploded because of a stupid pool prank. Comment 3. Not the idiot, and you are not out of line. You should be making a big deal out of it. Asterisk. This is how people drown or get horrible spinal injuries. Your brother's wife is right, and your father and family members are 100% in the wrong. The cognitive comment was problematic, but he is old enough to know better, and you were freaking out because your husband nearly drowned. Now, for the next story. My boyfriend, 23-year-old male, and I, 23-year-old female, have been together for 6 years. I have always preferred guys with short hair and dislike long hair on guys because it appears messy to me. My boyfriend has known about my preference since the beginning of our relationship. Last year, I wanted to dye my hair red, but my boyfriend hates the color red and strongly urged me not to. He basically said that he wouldn't be attracted to me if I dyed my hair red. I was disappointed. But since he kept his hair short to align with my preference, I decided to do the same for him. However, recently he has been growing out his hair. When I asked him when he was planning to get a haircut, he said he was trying to grow it out a bit. In response, I said, well, don't let it grow too long because you know how I feel about long hair on guys. Months passed, and now his hair is way past his shoulders. Personally, I think his hair is covering up his handsome face and making him appear messy and unkempt. I voiced my preference again, expressing that I would really appreciate if he got a haircut. He snapped at me, saying that it's his hair and he can do whatever he wants with it. I replied, well, I guess I'll dye my hair red then. I only said that because I was upset about the double standard. He can do whatever he wants with his hair, but I can't? This made him even angrier, claiming that it's different. Am I the idiot, AITA? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Everyone sucks here. You should be able to dye your hair whatever color you like, but you also shouldn't try to control what your boyfriend does with his hair. Honestly, if both of you feel so strongly about these preferences and have these weird rules about appearance, this relationship probably isn't going to survive, and you both should find different partners who meet your standards more closely. Comment 2. Not the idiot. You wanted to dye your hair and refrained from doing so out of respect for him. Now, he is not showing you the same respect. However, make sure that if you do dye your hair red, it is because you genuinely want it, and not just out of spite. Relationships need to be built on mutual respect, and if he expects respect but doesn't give it, you cannot have an equal relationship. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. Are you in junior high? You can dye your hair whatever color you want, and he can grow his hair as long as he wants. If something as petty as this can change your feelings for someone, then you don't truly love each other. Now for the next story. Basically the title. I, 25-year-old male, recently moved in with my girlfriend, 27-year-old female, last year. We were going through our stuff in the basement, and she came across my old yearbook and prom photo and told me how she doesn't like that I have a photo of me with another woman in the house and wants me to cut it. It's the only paper copy. Now, in her defense, this was a high school relationship that lasted just under 2 years and ended almost a year after being out of high school. My point is, I don't have any feelings towards her. Prom is just a once-in-a-lifetime event while I was a kid, and I don't want to tarnish that memory by cutting the photo with scissors. However, she is taking that as I am holding on to her, and it's suspicious. Am I the idiot for keeping that photo in our basement? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You have a right to have memories and stuff to keep them. If there were pills causing instant memory loss, would it be okay to ask your partner to take them each time you meet them? If she's insecure about you having a past, it's very sad for her. But unless she asked for a virgin and you lied about it, she has no right to do an auto-da-fe on your past life memories. Comment 2. Not the idiot. She sounds insecure. It's a picture from a big event in your past. She needs to get over that. Like someone else said, it's not like you have it in a frame in your lounge. It's literally in your basement. That's not an issue at all. You're entitled to keep memories if you want to. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's a happy memory from your past. You didn't grow up in a vacuum. I would be concerned. about being with someone so insecure that they can't handle a simple picture from your past. The insecurity tends to eat relationships alive. Now, for the next story. I've been giving this one coworker rides to work and back because it's on my way. But lately, she has been taking extra long to get ready and meet me. Our workplace is 20 minutes by car from her house, and I got to her place 40 minutes before work. I called her 2 times and left a text. She said she's coming down in a few. I waited for 20 minutes and left her a text again. She didn't respond. So I drove to work and clocked just in time. She came to work an hour later and asked why I left her. I told her to not bother meeting me after her shift ends. I'm done. Am I the idiot? Now, here are the comments. Comment 1. Circumflex. Circumflex, circumflex, circumflex. Automod, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Thanks for posting. This comment is a copy of your post so readers can see the original text if your post is edited or removed. This comment is not accusing you of copying anything. Read this wiki post deletion before contacting the mod team. I've been giving this one coworker rides to work and back because it's on my way. But lately, she has been taking extra long to get ready and meet me. Our workplace is 20 minutes by car from her house, and I got to her place 40 minutes before work. I called her 2 times and left a text. She said she's coming down in a few. I waited for 20 minutes and left her a text again. She didn't respond. So I drove to work and clocked just in time. She came to work an hour later and asked why I left her. I told her to not bother meeting me after her shift ends. I'm done. Am I the idiot? Comment 2. Not the idiot. You picking her up is a favor and she should treat it as such. With respect to your time. What was she expecting? That you're late too and get in trouble with her? Comment 3. Not the idiot. You were doing her a favor and she was taking advantage of you. I wouldn't risk my job for a random coworker either. She can figure out another way to get to work. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.